Here we go, 12 rounds of boxing for the WBC Super Bantamweight Championship of the World. Introducing to you first, the challenger on my left, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the colors of his homeland, white, red, and blue trunks, and hailing from Juanadías, Puerto Rico. He weighed in at 121 1/2 pounds. His record stands at 25 wins, 1 loss, with 17 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight, making his second attempt at a world title, he is ranked at WBC number 5 Super Bantamweight in the world. Please welcome the challenger, Cesar Seda. And his opponent across the ring, the defending champion on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing silver trunks with black trim, fighting out of Los Angeles, California, by way of Huetamo, Michoacan, Mexico. He weighed in the same as his opponent, 121 1/2 pounds, undefeated in his campaign in the ring. His record stands at 25 wins, no losses, 1 draw, with 15 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight, in his 6th world title appearance, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 2-weight division world champion and the defending WBC Super Bantamweight champion of the world, el famoso Terremoto, Leo Santa Cruz. Once again, here's our referee in charge, now to give instructions, Mark Calloway.
Leo. All right, man, we've already gone over the rules in the dressing room. I want you to obey my commands at all times, protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves. Let's go to work.
Referee is Mark Calloway. The latest chapter in the great boxing rivalry between Mexico and Puerto Rico is about to be written. As Mexico's Leo Santa Cruz, of course, living in California, facing Puerto Rico's Cesar Seda in the first defense of his 122-pound belt.
This box.
The bell and round 1. Overhand right by Santa Cruz, blocked by Seda.
One thing to take notice of, let's see if we can see this early on. Santa Cruz known for his high punch output. A good boxer who changes distance and changes range, like Cesar Seda, will automatically lower the opponent's punch output because you cannot throw those punches when you're not in punching range. So let's see. I'm very curious to see if Santa Cruz can maintain the high punch output he's known for.
Santa Cruz in the silver with black. Seda sporting the colors of the Puerto Rican flag, white, red, and blue. And Al, Santa Cruz is a show stats MVP, a leader in so many categories.
Yeah, he's number 1 in a number of punches thrown, 97 per round, I believe. And they've worked on throwing the right hand more, and we'll see if he uses that against the left-hander. And in fact, there it was.
Lead right hand by Santa Cruz.
Seda had landed a good left cross a few seconds before that.
Santa Cruz facing his first southpaw since he became a 118-pound champion when he defeated Busi Malinga.
This is a rare moment in boxing where there is no Puerto Rican world champion. And Seda, of course, would like to rectify that.
And that's because Roman Martinez was defeated last month by Mikey Garcia. There's a left hand by Seda, working the body now as Santa Cruz counters, but Seda staying in there.
Good catch and shoot there by Seda.
Seda's having himself a pretty good round against the champion.
He's sharp, he's got some good speed. Santa Cruz is going to have to work to slow that down. Good counter.
Right hand that snapped Seda's head back. Under a minute now left in the first round.
Not surprisingly, Santa Cruz said he wants to work the body early against Seda to prevent movement as the fight continues, and he's done that to a degree.
Santa Cruz has only faced 2 southpaws. We talked about Malinga. That was back in June of last year. And then he defeated Jonathan Velardes in his 10th fight in July of 2009. Flashes the jab. Good combination by Seda. 30 seconds left in the opening round.
Both guys showing some good moments in this round.
Double left hand by Seda. Action-packed opening 3 minutes as both Santa Cruz and Seda, as you mentioned, Paulie, having their moments here in the opening 3 minutes.
This is world-class boxing. Good shot.
There's a jab by Santa Cruz that sticks. The bell and round 2 scheduled for 12 for Santa Cruz's 122-pound championship. Santa Cruz utilizing the peekaboo guard, leading with the left hook that Seda was able to avoid, but eats a couple of jabs in the meantime.
Seda has jumped up, you know, as you mentioned, he was down at 115 pounds, started his career at 106. The question will be in this fight, will he be big enough physically not to be worn down by Santa Cruz?
Good counter left hand there. Santa Cruz came in. And this is where the dilemma is for Santa Cruz. He wants to get off. He wants to have the high punch output, but you got to time it right because Seda changes range, and if you lean in, you'll get countered.
Seda's already making Santa Cruz think. Santa Cruz coming in, though, with a barrage of blows and a couple of right uppercuts for good measure, working the body, but Seda countering with a body shot. So great toe-to-toe action here in our second bout of the night.
No, stop, no punch.
This is vintage Leo Santa Cruz. Every single fight, for the most part, is like it. Even against Terrazas, though he dominated the fight and won, there were some good exchanges.
Yeah, Seda looks for those catch and shoots. Oh, good shot. You know, Santa Cruz found a home for that jab at the end of the combination. He's got Seda going straight back. So even though he may not land the entire combination cleanly, that last jab is putting Seda out of position and it's landing cleanly.
Santa Cruz just landed a left hook at the end of that combination as well. So he's starting to get through the guard of Seda, who now regroups, feinting, unloads a 1-2 combination that misses.
We haven't seen Seda use any lateral movement, standing right in the pocket with Santa Cruz, and that may be his undoing in this fight.
And Santa Cruz doing a good job for the most part, Paulie, and lead, keeping that lead foot on the outside.
Well, the thing, Seda sometimes gets in position where he starts boxing well, he lands a couple of shots, and there's that jab at the end of the combination again by Santa Cruz. Seda gets confident, he lands a couple of shots, and then he stays in there too long, and he allows Santa Cruz to get off again. That's what Seda wants to do right there. You see that step back as Santa Cruz leaned in, step back and shoot the 1-2. He did it again there. It's a step back 1-2-3. You want to use Santa Cruz's aggression against him.
Under 30 seconds left in the second round. Good action here between Leo Santa Cruz, the champion, and the challenger, Cesar Seda. Anytime you hear Mexico versus Puerto Rico in prize fighting, you can expect fistic fireworks, right, guys? And here we are getting some in the latter stages of the second round. More back and forth action as we head to round 3 here at the Alamodome in San Antonio. And round 3. Cesar Junito Seda went 72-9 and was a national amateur champion in Puerto Rico.
Santa Cruz told us that he feels he's still a work in progress at 25, even though he's a champion. And he said, my dad told me, if you stop learning, you lose. And that's a great attitude.
Double jab by the champion Santa Cruz, who had almost 90 amateur bouts before turning professional at the age of 17. He tagged Seda with the left hand and now has him along the ropes. Uppercut.
And what started that combination? The jab on the end. Santa Cruz throws those combinations, Seda back straight up. So a jab on the end puts him in out of position, and he lands it.
And they exchanged smiles as Seda was able to avoid further damage, circling away from the ropes after delivering a strong combination of his own. Counterattack by Seda.
Santa Cruz turns southpaw.
Yeah.
We've not seen this very much, if at all, from Santa Cruz.
Interesting, because he was just doing some pretty good work out of the right-handed stance. Yeah. Let's see how this
now
changes.
Goes back. Well, he's switching back and forth.
You heard me.
Another left hook connects by Santa Cruz. Seda's got a strong beard. Both of them have only been down once in their respective careers. Flicking jab by Seda. Trying to utilize maybe a little bit of that shoulder roll, but Santa Cruz walking him down.
Seda keeps going straight back, looking for a counter, but he's got to let it go. Good shot by Santa Cruz there.
Final minute of the third round.
You know, Santa Cruz is more economical with his punches in this fight than normal. He's like, for this round, he's thrown about 40. And they suggest that might be the case against the lefty. You have to pick your spots a little better.
Yeah, and Seda changes range. He's a boxer. A lot of times a boxer won't give you as many openings. He's more, you know, he's not as rough around the edges. So you'll have to be more careful because you don't want to walk into counters.
So far in this round, Seda's thrown more power shots, but Santa Cruz has the edge in connections as he again moves forward on the challenger.
Good shot by Seda there. And yeah, and just because he's been economical hasn't made him lose any effectiveness.
15 seconds left in the third round. Seda has Santa Cruz along the rope, slips in a left uppercut. Working the body, another left uppercut. That was blocked by Santa Cruz.
This is a good fight.
A terrific opening 3 rounds, scheduled for 12.
Two good quality fighters.
Winner. As we are now in the midst of round number 4. Both fighters have been very busy. Santa Cruz in his 3rd fight of the year. How busy was he last year? Well, he defended his 118-pound title 3 times in 6 months now.
Now, in the old days, like Henry Armstrong once defended his title 11 times, but you know, those days are long gone. That was a beautiful hook by Santa Cruz.
Left hook by Santa Cruz, backing up Seda. Right hand to the midsection. Now a barrage of right hands by Santa Cruz, and Seda unloads, but those punches were blocked by Santa Cruz's guard.
When have you seen 2 fighters commit to body work as much as these 2 have? Very impressive.
You make those investments early, Paulie, hoping that they will pay off later in the fight.
Absolutely, and both guys going to the body from close range, and they're also going from long range, throwing the straight left hand for Seda and the straight right hand for Santa Cruz, both to the body as well. Sharp counter there by Seda, and that's one of the reasons why Santa Cruz has been more economical, because he can't rush offenses. At times he can be countered.
Seda ducking down, unloads the lead left hand, catches Santa Cruz on the way in.
He got clipped with something on the way out, though. Seda's got to be a little more neat with his defense on the way out after combinations.
Hands are low.
Oh, good left
nice
hand.
combination there by Seda with the straight left hand through Santa Cruz's guard. A counter right by the champion.
Nice check hook by Seda.
Santa Cruz measuring him up with the jab.
Seda trying to find a home for that counter left hand. He's tried it twice now off of Santa Cruz's jab.
Under a minute left in the 4th. Crowd chanting Santa Cruz. He's become a fan favorite, and he has. Seda in the corner momentarily. Seda able to turn the tables as referee Mark Calloway separates them.
One thing I noticed there, and I've noticed it a couple of times now, is when Santa Cruz double jabs, he doubles up on his jabs, Seda puts himself out of position, and Santa Cruz is able to come back with a combination. Seda overcommits a bit to that going straight back on defense when Santa Cruz is doubling the jab. But when Santa Cruz throws a single jab, a lot of times Seda is able to counter it.
Left hand lands by Santa Cruz. Seda coming forward with some body shots, but a counter right over the top by Santa Cruz. And again, they exchange fire here in the latter stages of round number 4.
Stop on the bell.
To boxing great Jesse James Leon, Mike Baton, the promotional efforts they've done to make San Antonio permanent home of the Sweet Science.
Yeah, it's becoming a real hotbed for boxing.
So the bell and round at number 5. Double jab by Santa Cruz. Counter left hook downstairs by Seda.
Seda told us when we met with him before the fight, he likes fighters that come to him. And you can tell he's a good counterpuncher. He just hasn't been able to land as well as he would like.
You know, some of that has to do with the range of Santa Cruz. A lot of times he wants to step out and counter Santa Cruz, but he's just a little shorter, and so he's got to step back in a little stronger.
They exchange body shots.
And what the step out approach is doing is just getting him caught with that jab on the end of the combinations a lot of times by Santa Cruz.
Keep those punches up.
Both of them still committed to the body as the referee, Mark Calloway, warning both to keep their punches up. He doesn't want to see any bells get jingled on this holiday season. As Santa Cruz walking down Seda. Seda trying to utilize some lateral movement, but staying in the pocket from the southpaw stance, doubling up the jab. The second one got through the guard. And then his head gets popped back with a jab from Santa Cruz. When
Seda steps straight back, he gets caught with that jab on the end. When he keeps his ground and tries to counter right from where he's at, he has more success on the counter shots. See, a lot of times he steps back, he's looking for that step back counter, but the problem is he's too short. Santa Cruz's range is longer than his Seda's range.
Under a minute and a half remaining in the 5th frame. A terrific battle thus far, and a great combination there. Lead right hand to the body, followed by the left hook upstairs by Santa Cruz. That right hook was picked off by the glove of Santa Cruz.
This is one of the closer rounds, though, in the fight, both in terms of the punches they're throwing and landing. And this is indicative of how both men are doing some good work.
Final minute of the round. Left hook to the body by Santa Cruz. Counter left straight through the guard by Seda. Nice double jab by the challenger. 30 seconds left in the round. And down goes Seda.
That was a slip, guys. That was a slip.
And it looked like a slip in Seda.
5,
a punch to the stone.
7, 8. Walk this way.
Similar to what happened to you last
I think it was exactly what happened. I think it's the same exact thing that happened to me. He's trying to spin out, and he got clipped on the foot. See, when you spin off your lead foot. The problem is both guys have the lead foot on the same side. That's the lefty-righty problem. So if you make bang feet as you're spinning, and you fall. Let's see on the replay.
Doesn't matter. Don't worry about that. It's a tie right now. We have a tie right now. We're okay. You had a great second round when you were working the body. That's what you need to keep doing. You got to take him to school. You got to take him to school.
Let's take a peek at the left hand, or the right hand, I'm sorry, that whether it landed and sent him to the canvas. Yeah, I personally think that's a knockdown. He landed it on the sternum and pushed him down. I don't know. We can't see the feet in that shot, and now we can due to the expertise in the. Well, they did tangle. They did tangle a little bit in their feet, and it was similar a little bit to what happened to Paulie in the last fight with Zab. But I have to think maybe there was enough with the punch to put him down.
6th round underway, officially ruled a knockdown by referee Mark Calloway. The second time that Seda's been down in his career. His corner seems to think it's a tie as we are in the 6th round now after 5 rounds as Santa Cruz again works the body and they exchange jabs.
You know, there have been a lot of rounds that were, competitive, but I just think Santa Cruz is controlling virtually every round.
And now Seda says, bring it. Santa Cruz, the bigger of the two fighters, lands the right hand, counter left by Seda.
You can see that Cesar Seda is just an excellent technician in the ring and a very good fighter. And we mentioned he's coming up, he has come up in weight, so that's the issue he's facing. Santa Cruz, of course, throwing more punches, but most often he would have an even bigger margin in terms of punches thrown.
Well, it's a pretty big one.
It is a big one, but for him, it usually is more even at this juncture.
And he just landed another sweet jab with 1:45 left in the sixth. Seda with the counter left hand.
Santa Cruz's dad, who trains him, of course, was a painter, and now he trains him full-time. And they have a very good father-son relationship, which is not always the case in boxing, and they do this right.
Oh, nice 1-2 combination by the southpaw Seda.
Seda smiling at Santa Cruz after that.
Jab by Santa Cruz has Seda along the ropes.
And that's what I mean, that double jab put him out of position again. Santa Cruz started that combination with a double jab. Nothing landed that was all that great, but what it did was it looked good. It made it put Seda out of position.
Santa Cruz utilizing the peekaboo guard. Right hook to the side of the head by Seda. They stay in the center of the ring. Very poised, very composed champion Leo Santa Cruz. That straight left was blocked by Santa Cruz's glove.
And when Seda uses this kind of lateral movement, for the most part, he at least gives himself a better chance to sneak in and land some of those counters. But Santa Cruz very active.
Landing those punches upstairs as they're at close quarters. There's a body barrage by Seda, but then Santa Cruz able to land the jab. So we're headed to the second half of this Super Bantamweight Championship fight here in San Antonio. So we're at the midway point of this Super Bantamweight Championship affair between the champion Leo Santa Cruz in the silver with black and the challenger Cesar Seda sporting the Puerto Rican flag colors of white, red, and blue. Paulie, did you agree with Santa Cruz's dad saying, don't worry about the body, work upstairs?
I think you have to always remember to at least touch the body a little bit. A slick guy like Seda, you want to place your punches everywhere so he can't anticipate your offense. Because a guy like Seda, if he can anticipate your offense, he can counter. It's a good right hand to the head there, though.
Looking at the unofficial scoring at the halfway point of this championship affair.
Well, we all have Santa Cruz winning. Steve and I by a wider margin. Paulie, you have it closer.
Yeah, I'm giving a little bit of credit for Seda's boxing ability here and there.
By the way, we had, and keys to victory at the beginning, I had established the jab for Seda. Well, he's tried, but not done very well. He's thrown 148 jabs coming into this round, only landed 16. So that's not going exactly where he wants it.
Regardless, at least Ali's throwing it. And
yeah, absolutely.
And by showing it, it's going to keep Santa Cruz busy.
Yeah, and he's fought a very good fight here. I just think in these rounds, he's had a hard time winning them.
Santa Cruz was born in Mexico, now residing in Los Angeles, while Seda resides in Juana Diaz, Puerto Rico. It was back in '34 when Sixto Escobar became Puerto Rico's first world champion.
Great fighter. Defeating
Baby Casanova in Montreal. Of course, a Mexican. That was the first of the Mexican versus Puerto Rican rivalry. And then in the 70s, you had Pepito Cuevas becoming the first Mexican to dethrone a Puerto Rican champ as he knocked out Angel Espada. And Santa Cruz now putting pressure on Seda.
Seda telling him to come in, and all the punches landing. And that's the thing you got to watch for here with the pressure of Santa Cruz. Yeah, good body shot by Seda there.
Final minute of another action-packed 7th round. Left hook to the body, and Seda returns with a body combination before going upstairs. And of course, as we reminisce about the rivalry between Mexico and Puerto Rico, who can forget the battle of the little giants, the late great Salvador Sanchez knocking out Wilfredo Gomez.
Well, they'd be happy to see this action because this has been an excellent round, very close round, and both men have done some good work.
Jab by Santa Cruz. Final 30 seconds of the 7th. It has been an all-action affair for Santa Cruz's Super Bantamweight Championship.
Stop!
Another strong round for the champion Santa Cruz as we head to the 8th. The bell and round number 8. Well, Leo Santa Cruz has been compared to the likes of Antonio Margarito, and when we talk about Mexico versus Puerto Rico, remember his series of fights with Miguel Cotto, the splitting of their two matchups as Seda and Santa Cruz meet each other in the center of the ring.
This is great action on the inside. Both men doing good work and body work. Look at that.
Both of them scoring with the body shots.
We talked about Seda not being of this weight normally, but he's holding up physically, I think, very well in this fight.
Any adjustments that you would like to see made down the stretch of this championship bout, Paulo?
No, I think that Seda's made a pretty good adjustment in that he's not pulling out as much on Santa Cruz combinations. It doesn't mean he should stay on the inside all the time like this, but when he holds his ground and looks to counter from where he's at, as opposed to stepping out, he's able to find Santa Cruz better.
They exchange uppercuts on the inside.
The step-out counter is good a lot of times, but not with a guy who's taller than you. It doesn't always work.
Man, they are just teeing off on each other.
Discovered the uppercut in this round, and both have done a good job of it, especially Santa Cruz.
Final 90 seconds of the 8th. Boxing fans very active on social media, and truer words have never been tweeted.
This is an excellent fight, and skillfully fought, which is part of the reason why you have to like it.
Seda has remained in the thick of things.
And in this round, so far, according to show stats, Santa Cruz landing 32 out of 56 punches. So he is accurate and very busy as well.
Santa Cruz coming forward with the 1-2 combination. There's a combination thrown by Seda. Sticks the jab, counter right hand by Santa Cruz as Seda leans in and gets tagged.
This is one of those rounds that shows you just both how world-class both of these guys are. Santa Cruz has just seemed a little bit neater, a little bit crisper with the offense. Both guys showing a high level of ability.
Absolutely.
Both possess plenty of heart and fighting spirit, fully on display as there. Santa Cruz teeing off on Seda's head with a couple of right hands as the finish line of the 8th round is in view. It's been a fantastic fight thus far. Leo Santa Cruz defending the super bantamweight strap against Cesar Seda. Paulie Malignaggi.
Response.
You trying to make matches here, Mauro? What's going on?
9th round.
Trying to goad him into fights?
I keep those comments to myself.
I guess he's just coming off a weight. I'll let him relax. But there's been talk. All right, Santa Cruz now walking down Seda. The beginning of round number 9. Sticks the right hand, counter left, though connects nicely by Seda.
Cesar Seda is in perhaps a difficult situation because I don't know if he has enough power to knock down or knock out Leo Santa Cruz. And if Santa Cruz has built an edge in this fight, this could be difficult for Seda. But he's certainly not out of this fight, and he's fought very well.
Santa Cruz training at the Who's Next boxing gym in the City of Industry in California, sparring with the likes of 2012 Olympian Joseph Diaz Jr. Also in action last night.
Yeah.
It's been a banner year for the sport of boxing, and wrapping things up here tonight with action like this. Santa Cruz and Seda continuing their high output.
And I think a headline in this fight is the jab of Santa Cruz, which has been just excellent. And it's been a power punch. We've seen a couple of times it hurt Seda.
Yeah, and it helped him a lot, especially on the end of the combinations. A lot of times Seda would make him miss, but then that last jab would really catch Seda cleanly.
Midway point of the 9th round. Santa Cruz stalking Seda on the ropes. Good lateral movement by Seda, although he got tagged with the jab. Now ducking in underneath, a couple of right hands to keep him honest by Santa Cruz as referee Mark Calloway steps in.
See the output of Seda starting to drop as the fight wears on. And this is where the extra weight can kind of wear you down. You know, a physically bigger man can put his weight on you, use that extra weight on you throughout the fight.
Stop.
And you can physically wear down and fatigue as it goes on. So it's interesting because I'm noticing this round a lot.
Yeah.
Seda's punch output is not very high, and he hasn't thrown a punch in a little while here.
He's only thrown 19 punches in this round.
And Santa Cruz tags him and continues to now work upstairs. Counter left hand by Seda, connected.
For the first time in this fight, Seda looks a little bit tentative.
I was just going to say that, Al. First time in the fight, he looks like he doesn't believe in himself anymore. You know, throughout the entire fight, you know, he's been competitive even if behind. But he had that body language where he believed in himself. This is the first round where I'm seeing now his body language is almost, I wouldn't say submissive, but maybe a little bit of step above that.
Final 10 seconds of the 9th round. Leo Santa Cruz gets caught there with the left hand through the guard.
And let's see, maybe Seda just takes a round off. Maybe he'll regroup for the next round. Only remains to be seen.
So we are set for round number 10 of this Super Bantamweight Championship bout. Both Santa Cruz and Seda come from boxing families. Santa Cruz, the younger brother of former WBC interim lightweight champ Jose Armando Santa Cruz and retired pro junior welterweight Roberto Santa Cruz. Seda, the nephew of Daniel Seda, who once challenged for the WBA featherweight title against Derek Gator back in 2002.
Also fought Joel Casamayor.
Seda started going to the gym at 7, had his first amateur fight at 9, as we look at the unofficial scoring after 9 rounds.
We see we've all got Santa Cruz winning, but the margins vary. And Steve Farhood, what say you about the score?
Well, clearly Santa Cruz is dominating, and what I like so much about him is that we know he's a pressure fighter who throws a lot of punches, but this fight is before 90% of the time on the outside, and he's still effective. He still throws a lot of punches. He can still work the body from a distance. My only question is, what is with that weird habit of him twisting his right hand? He's been doing it. I've seen him do it in other fights, but he's doing it much more tonight.
Normally that indicates somebody hurt their hand or broke it, but that's not the case here, I don't think.
Good stuff, Steve. I was actually going to ask Paulie about that.
I think it's more like a hitch to position his right hand. I think he kind of repositions. You know, a lot of times you want to keep your hands in good position to punch. It seems like it's like a tick he might have where he's repositioning his right hand so that he can throw it better.
90 seconds left in the 10th round. Pace beginning to slow a bit here as Seda admonished for... he was just above the belt line with that shot to the body. Now, Santa Cruz coming forward with the right hand.
Stop, no punch.
Seda wanting to clinch.
Steve's point about the fact that Santa Cruz has not been in the trenches fighting him, that he's done it from the outside to both the body and the head, is really an important thing for Santa Cruz moving ahead.
Under 60 seconds now left in the 10th round. Seda utilizing lateral movement, but getting himself hemmed in the corner as Santa Cruz attacks the body. Right hand connects, and now they exchange blows. And the crowd eating up every second of it. Santa Cruz continuing to stay on the outside and show different wrinkles to his overall game as he matures as a professional. A 2-division champion at just 25 years of age, undefeated at 25-0-1 with 15 wins via form of knockout.
In this round, Cesar Seda has done better work than he did in the last round, and I think shown himself to be competitive again. But even with that, Santa Cruz continues to stalk and land.
And Santa Cruz continues to hunt down. Seda has him in the corner. Flashes the jab.
That's the thing, he seems like he's being physically grinded down now.
Santa Cruz winning the title in his last fight against Victor Terrazas. He's the former Bantamweight champ. He won that title in June of 2012, made 3 title defenses before the end of the year, relinquishing the belt to move up in weight. And here in his first title defense, so far so good against spirited challenger Cesar Seda. We saw Danny Garcia earlier. He, of course, trained by his father, Angel Garcia, and both of these athletes trained by their respective fathers, Cesar Seda Jr. and Jose Santa Cruz. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, right, guys?
Many more of those teams now in boxing than we've seen in the past. Boy, they're going
at it here.
jab by Santa Cruz.
Yep.
Well timed.
Over 1,000, in fact, over 1,100 combined punches thrown. No surprise when it features Leo Santa Cruz, but Cesar Seda, despite not being as accurate, has remained busy and has been a competitive challenger in terms of staying active and trying with all his might to upset the champion.
He's been a world-class fighter. He's shown himself to be that. Santa Cruz is a very good champion.
And there he works the body, paintbrushing Seda with those lefts and rights. There was a shot to the bell line by Santa Cruz as we head into the final 90 seconds of the 11th round. Seda along the ropes using lateral movement, hands down.
Santa Cruz is 2-0 in 12-round fights. So we know, of course, he has not lost.
Counter left and another straight left hand by Seda connects.
And Seda's been 12 rounds once, but lost to Narvaez in the championship fight.
Final 60 seconds of the 11th. Santa Cruz staying on the outside. Circling each other, comes in with a right cross.
Santa Cruz very alert now.
Left hand to the body by Seda, but during the clinch, Santa Cruz with his open right hand continues to throw leather.
As Seda's fatigue starts to show a little bit, you maybe get a little wider with the punches, a little more sloppy. Santa Cruz right on top of him, looking for those sharp counters. While, of course, trying to lead in a typical Santa Cruz fashion.
Counter left hand that tags Santa Cruz on the side of the head by Seda. Santa Cruz continuing to walk down the challenger. Final 10 seconds in the penultimate round of this Super Bantamweight Championship fight. Keep your hands up, the 12th and final round, as the crowd here in San Antonio salute the efforts of Leo Santa Cruz and Cesar Seda.
For Leo Santa Cruz, he's not a knockout puncher in terms of one punch, and many of his fights go long. Oh my,
That's a straight right hand. Staggered Seda, but he comes back with a barrage of shots to the body. They are swinging for the fences.
Stop, no punch. Both guys looking to finish strong. Again, Seda has to be careful on the way out because Santa Cruz has such long arms that the range is a little bit longer than most fighters. So you got to make sure you're all the way out or you get caught by those long shots of Santa Cruz.
So a furious pace to start the round, and there's a right hook by Seda that lands. Now things settle into a more moderate pace as the first minute has elapsed of this 12th and final round.
Cesar Seda may be better off at 118 pounds if he could make it because he's shown such enormous skill. I just think he's in with a bigger, stronger man.
That's a great point out. This kid is a good fighter. He may not win tonight, but he's really proven he's a world-class fighter.
The only knockdown of the fight, the second of Seda's career, was back in round 5. A minute and a half now left in the fight as Seda comes forward, eats a straight right hand from Santa Cruz.
The tweet that we had earlier that Santa Cruz can't be in a bad fight is so true, and it's what's making him one of boxing's very popular young fighters.
There's a reason that his last 7 fights have been on the television airwaves here on Showtime, and last December closing out the year on CBS. He wants to close out this year in impressive fashion, going to town on Seda, who turns the tables in the final minute of the fight.
This has been a good 10th round, and Seda's had his moments as well. Of course, this is the 12th round, the last round of the fight.
And they continue to chuck leather at each other down the stretch. 20 seconds left in the fight.
of action, we have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Barry Lindenman scores the bout 116 to 111. David Belusa-Carrick scores the bout 115 to 112. And judge at ringside, Glenn Crocker, sees it 117 to 110. All three in favor of the winner. And still champion, El Famoso Terremoto, Leo Santa Cruz.
Another impressive performance by Leo Santa Cruz, successfully defending his Super Bantamweight Championship.